For each of the movies that we've made, we really focus on telling the story that we're making in that movie, and really get engaged and involved in what that story is. We were thrilled with the opportunity to make a second one and equally thrilled to get a chance to make a third one. So I don't think we've thought beyond that when we were starting out. At the end of Kung Fu Panda 2, we saw a glimpse of some pandas, including one who appeared to be Po's father. And so that was one of the big questions that we had coming into Kung Fu Panda 3, like, do we get to meet the father? And of course, we wanted to meet Po's panda father. Since the beginning, one of the things that we've loved about Po is that he's really vulnerable, and he has very kind of human characteristics. You know, he's insecure and he's shy and he's embarrassed, but he's strangely outgoing and charismatic. And so I think we all see parts of ourselves in Po, in his kind of desire to do something great, but his fear that he won't be able to. And those characteristics are ones that we started with in Kung Fu Panda 1, but they're still so much a part of who he is in Kung Fu Panda 3. At first, Po is just kind of overwhelmed by this idea of meeting another panda. He's never seen a panda anywhere in the world. And then to find out that panda is actually his father it's a pretty earth-shattering moment. But what's really fun about that relationship is that the two of them are so similar. So many of the things that we come to think of as Po, sort of his enthusiasm and his clumsiness and his kind of bigger-than-life personality, his father shares those same characteristics. So there's a real kind of connection between the two, not just because of the biological connection, but also because they're so similar. When Po and his father set out for the Panda Village, the father is promising Po that he'll teach him the secret of Chi to help him defeat a villain, and that's something that Po really wants to learn. It's sort of the next evolution as a kung fu master for Po. So he goes off on the journey for that, but also to really find out a little bit more about where he came from. For the father, his motivation is a little bit more about protecting his son. He sees that his son, who he's only just met, could be in some danger, and he wants to bring him back to the Panda Village where he feels he'll be safe. J.K. Simmons plays Kai, who's our first supernatural villain. So he comes from the spirit realm. He escapes basically this prison that he's been in the spirit realm and arrives on Earth. And his idea is to absorb the chi, or the life energy, of all of the great kung fu masters in order to strengthen himself so that he will become the most kind of powerful creature on Earth. It's a joy for us to get to work with just an amazing cast again. You know, Jack Black is back, and Dustin Hoffman playing Shifu, and James Hong playing Mr. Ping. All fantastic characters coming back, plus the Furious Five, Angelina Jolie, Seth Rogen, David Cross, Lucy Liu, Seth Rogen. Yeah, an amazing cast in the Furious Five, and they're all back as well. So we feel really blessed to have them all back. And then we've got to bring on a few new cast members that are really big parts of this movie. One is J.K. Simmons, who plays our villain Kai. Another is Bryan Cranston, amazing, talented actor who plays Po's panda father Lee. And then we have Kate Hudson playing Mei Mei, our first kind of female panda character, and she's a huge amount of fun in the movie. Mei Mei is it's kind of this boisterous, fun, very confident panda character who has been training in the art of ribbon dancing for many years and is very excited to show her skills off to Po when he arrives in the town. She's kind of the kind of person I think we all wish we could be, just so confident, and in a ways that Po, I think, is sometimes a little insecure. She's the opposite in a lot of ways. I think for us working on the movie, the thing that we really love is the central character of Po, just because he's just such a fun, funny, lovable, vulnerable character. I think that's what connects a lot of people into the story. I think there's also an aspect of being kind of transported into this kind of other world it's really fun. You're in this kind of fantasy version of China with these animal creatures, and I think over the years people have really gotten to know each of the characters and enjoy revisiting them again. Jen and Alessandro have been part of the Kung Fu Panda franchise, for the last 10 years, a really, really important part of the building of these characters and this world and these stories. And working with them on the third movie has been just a great pleasure. They have a great working relationship. They get along incredibly well with each other, but also with the crew. And they bring such kind of a vision for what the world could be and such heart, I think, to the story. We were thrilled to have Hans Zimmer come back and do the score for the third movie. He's been a part of all three of the films. He just has such a beautiful, epic way of helping tell the story through music. In this particular movie, we were also blessed to have some amazing and talented soloists from China join in the creation of the score. And you'll hear a lot of that, and it's just some spectacular music. One of the new places that we visit in this movie is the Spirit Realm, which is this kind of otherworldly environment where we find our villain battling with Oogway as the movie starts. And our production designer, Ramon Zebach, did an incredible job of finding a new technique and a new way of sort of creating this environment that allows it to be incredibly kind of graphic and bold in its color, but very kind of real and textural in its kind of physical presence. It's a beautiful space, particularly if you see the film in stereo. It really is kind of an incredible experience. The key creative leadership on Kung Fu Panda has been the same throughout the entire franchise, which is a rare and kind of incredible thing. You know, we've worked with the same writers, the same editor, the same composer, the same head of animation, the same production designer. You know, throughout the crew, we've had the same group consistently working together for about 10 to 12 years now. And it's an amazing crew, and they continue to push the boundaries of what's possible in CG animation. And as the tools get better, their vision is just able to expand beyond kind of what we ever thought we could do. So when we look back to what the constraints were on the first movie compared to the third movie, it's a completely different world of filmmaking. And rather than just kind of settle into what we had done before, the team is always energized, and I think energized by the story, to do what they never thought they could do before. Every time we set out to do a movie, we want to bring the audience something new. We want to give them the things that they love, but we also want to give them a new, fresh experience. And so we created the Panda Village, which is full of tons of great, cuddly characters, and the Spirit Realm, which really pushes the boundaries of what we had done with the filmmaking before, creating an entire new world, which is a big, kind of epic, otherworldly experience. We also are making the movie in Mandarin, so we've re-recorded and recast for the Chinese audience a version of the film in Mandarin, and we've also reanimated the characters. So there's actually an opportunity to see the film fully executed in two completely different languages. And I have to say the experience it's a different experience, and they're both incredible, fun films to watch.